Anna Johnson, a 34-year-old single mother, lived with her 3 children in a modest house in Austin, Texas. Jake, 17, Lucy, 15, and Sarah, just 10. 2 years earlier, her husband Will had left without explanation, leaving Anna alone to shoulder the burden of raising their children. Abandoned and financially devastated, Anna, who had once dreamed of a stable, happy life with her husband, now had only one wish: a safe, secure home where her children could grow up without worry. The bills piled up, and Anna's income from her cleaning jobs barely covered the essentials. She hid her tears, keeping up a strong front for her children. To them, she was a mother who never gave up, always hopeful that the future would bring better days. Despite her outward optimism, Anna feared deep down that she might never be able to give her children the future she longed for them to have. But with love and determination, she vowed not to let fear destroy her hopes. Jake, her oldest, understood the pain his mother kept hidden better than anyone. He worked as a delivery driver at a local restaurant, using his small wages to help ease Anna's load. Lucy, full of energy, sold homemade treats at school, bringing every saved penny home. Sarah, the youngest, too young to understand their struggles, dreamed of being a doctor one day and often told her mom how she wanted to help her. Anna, despite everything, smiled as she heard their dreams, holding her children's hands and promising herself that no sacrifice would be too big to see them succeed. During the silent hours of the night, Anna allowed herself to feel the pain she suppressed during the day. In those quiet moments, memories of her husband returned, of how important he had once been to her before he left so abruptly. With silent tears, she prayed for strength not to give up. Even after all the hurt, she sometimes caught herself wishing that Will would come back to help her understand what had gone wrong. Amid her struggles, Anna held on to a small spark of hope, believing that somehow, something better awaited her future. Sarah, the youngest, was the family's bright light. With her sweet and gentle nature, she spoke with childlike innocence about how she would one day help people and save lives. Since she was little, she had dreamed of becoming a doctor, and her enthusiasm was contagious. For Anna, seeing her daughter's determination fueled her own will to keep going. She was filled with pride and hope, though she knew that the path to Sarah's dream would require resources she didn't have. One day, Sarah came home from school with shining eyes and a small trophy in her hands. She had won first place in a writing contest titled, "What I Want to Be When I Grow Up." Her essay, where she shared her desire to help others and do good, had deeply moved the judges and brought tears to Anna's eyes. To her, that trophy symbolized far more than an award. It was proof that Sarah possessed a spirit so strong that even hardship couldn't extinguish it. With the trophy, Sarah had also received a children's book on medicine, a gift from her teachers, which she treated like a precious treasure. She spent her nights reading the book, eagerly sharing fascinating facts with her mother. As Anna watched her daughter, she realized that Sarah's dream was no passing phase and began to think of ways she might be able to make that dream a reality. She resolved to do whatever it took to help Sarah achieve it, even if it meant sacrificing the little they had. Jake and Lucy, seeing the passion in their younger sister, also began to support her. Jake looked up information on scholarships for medical school, while Lucy helped Sarah with her science homework. Their teamwork and support made Anna feel that, despite their hardships, there was something priceless in their family. Her children's unity gave them strength to keep going. It was their love that kept them all strong, even in the face of so many obstacles. That night, as Anna read beside Sarah, she heard her daughter say, "Mom, I'll take care of you when I become a doctor. You won't ever have to work so hard again." Anna felt her heart ache, a mix of pride and sorrow. While she couldn't guarantee what the future held, she knew that each small sacrifice was worth it for that promise, for that glimpse of a brighter tomorrow. As time passed, Anna's financial situation became more challenging. In a casual conversation with a friend, she learned about an opportunity to sell food at a local festival. The idea of making cornbread, a family recipe, began to take shape in her mind. It could be her chance to earn some extra money, maybe even enough to pay off a few overdue bills. Anna used her last savings to buy the ingredients and spent the night cooking. Her children helped her, their excitement almost palpable as they prepared for the festival. When the day came, Anna set up her small booth, simple but welcoming, with the smell of warm cornbread drawing passers-by. Customers soon gathered, and each sale felt like a small victory. Her happiness was evident, and at the end of the day, she counted the money with her children, feeling emotional. That small profit meant more than just financial relief. It was a step toward her children's future. Encouraged by her success, Anna decided she could make this a regular activity. With Jake and Lucy's help, she started selling at city fairs and soon built a loyal customer base. Sarah took on small tasks at home to free up time for her mother and siblings. Each of them contributed in their own way, and together, they turned the small cornbread sales into a reliable source of income for the family. As sales grew, Anna began to dream of expanding her business. She spent her nights planning new recipes and exploring other places to sell. The responsibilities mounted, but her children's support kept her strong. She knew this sacrifice was necessary, and with her heart renewed by hope, she continued working tirelessly, determined that her children would one day fulfill their dreams. Though the exhaustion was overwhelming, Anna held on to the belief that her cornbread business would secure their future. Now, more than ever, she felt that each sale was a step closer to success. Every smile from her customers, every compliment on her cornbread, reminded her that, no matter how hard the journey, she was on the right path. Jake, the oldest, was Anna's rock. At 17, he felt the weight of responsibility to help his mother and look after his sisters, but he never let go of his dream of becoming a lawyer. He wanted to study, to fight for justice, and he knew that his education could help lift his family out of their struggles. Every time he saw his mother return home exhausted from work, it strengthened his resolve to create a better life for them all. One afternoon, Jake came home with surprising news. He had been awarded a partial scholarship to a university in Boston. Anna's heart filled with pride and worry. How would they cover the costs that the scholarship didn't cover? Sensing her concern, Jake assured her that he was willing to work to make up the difference. He wanted her to know that he would do whatever it took to ease the financial burden on their family. In the days that followed, Anna and Jake reviewed the family's budget and made some cuts to reduce their expenses. Lucy and Sarah were eager to help as well. Lucy offered part of the money she earned selling sweets at school, while Sarah, with her small stash of coins saved from allowance, did what she could to contribute. The family's unity gave each of them strength, and Anna decided that even though the sacrifice was great, they would do whatever it took to see Jake achieve his dream. On the night before Jake left, he sat down with Anna to talk about all the sacrifices they'd be making so that he could study in Boston. "Mom, I promise I'm going to make this worth it," he said, holding her hands tightly. Anna, moved, realized how much her son had grown, and that his determination was the legacy of everything she had fought to instill. She felt that their efforts were finally being rewarded. A few weeks later, Jake left for Boston. Anna watched him go with tears in her eyes, but also with a quiet sense of satisfaction. She knew this was the first step toward a brighter future for them all. Jake was blazing a trail, and his success would be the driving force for each of them to keep moving forward. Lucy, the middle child, had always had a practical mind and a passion for inventing. She dreamed of becoming an engineer and creating things that could make a real difference in people's lives. Inspired by Anna's determination and Jake's success, she threw herself into her studies and her work at the fairs with her mother. Lucy excelled in school, and her science teacher soon took notice. One afternoon, her teacher encouraged her to enter an engineering project competition. Lucy was excited, but her project would require costly materials that her family couldn't afford. When she shared this with Anna, her mother immediately decided to work more to save the money they needed. Lucy saw her mother's sacrifice and worked even harder, determined to win the competition and show that their family's efforts were worth it. For days, Lucy spent her evenings designing, assembling, and fine-tuning every detail of a device she'd created to irrigate crops in dry regions. Jake called from afar to encourage her, and Sarah drew little sketches of support, urging her to do her best. Lucy felt that she wasn't alone, and the strength she drew from her family's love made her even more determined. On the day of the competition, Lucy was nervous but confident. As she presented her project, her knowledge and dedication left the judges impressed. When she was announced as the winner, her first thought was of her mother and the sacrifices she had made to get her there. When she returned home, she ran to embrace Anna, who waited with proud, tear-filled eyes. This victory gave Lucy the confidence that she could accomplish much more, and it fueled Sarah's own dreams of becoming a doctor. Anna saw that all their hard work was finally bearing fruit and that her children possessed the inner strength needed to overcome any challenge. Sarah remained steadfast in her dream of becoming a doctor. With her writing contest trophy and the books she had received as prizes, she studied every night, always remembering her mother's sacrifices and the support of her siblings. Little Sarah had become more focused, determined to honor the hard work of each family member. One day, while selling cornbread with Anna, Sarah met Evelyn, a nurse who would become her mentor. Evelyn, captivated by Sarah's passion, offered to teach her and lend her books on anatomy and biology. This extra support motivated Sarah, and soon she was spending afternoons studying with Evelyn, fully immersing herself in the world of medicine. Sarah's dedication moved Anna, who saw in this mentorship a glimmer of hope that her daughter's dream could truly come to life. Anna began selling at night events and seeking new customers, doing everything she could to provide Sarah with the stability she needed to study. Anna's determination was unwavering, and Sarah knew her mother did it all out of love. Jake and Lucy, hearing about Evelyn's mentorship, saved up what they could to send Sarah books and study materials. Sarah understood that her success would not just be her own, but her family's as well. With each night of studying alongside Evelyn and each helping hand from her siblings, Sarah felt closer to achieving her dream. In those moments, she knew that every effort was not only for her, but for every tear and smile her mother and siblings had shared. Sarah carried their love and support with her, and that gave her the strength to give her very best. On an ordinary workday, Anna received an unexpected visitor. Her ex-husband, Will, was back and asking to talk. He looked visibly aged, and his eyes were filled with regret. Anna felt a mix of anger and surprise. After all these years, why was he returning now, just as the family seemed to be finding their footing? Will explained that after he left, he had tried to rebuild his life in another city, but nothing had gone right. Struggling with health issues and without resources, he'd realized that the biggest mistake of his life was abandoning his family. Now he was seeking forgiveness from Anna and the children, and a chance to prove that he had changed. Will's words stirred up old wounds, but Anna, torn, knew that holding on to resentment would only consume her. When she shared the news with her children, Jake was furious, Lucy felt conflicted, and Sarah, with her generous heart, believed everyone deserved a second chance. Though filled with resentment, Anna decided to give Will an opportunity to prove his remorse, hoping that forgiveness might bring some peace to them all. Will began to reconnect with his children slowly and carefully. He joined Anna at her food stall, helping her with small tasks, while he worked patiently to regain the family's trust. Each day, Anna observed his efforts and wondered if he truly had changed. Though the past still hurt, something within her began to open to the possibility of a different future. With time, Will's presence brought a new energy to the family. The children slowly began to accept their father, and Anna saw a chance for harmony. Despite her lingering doubts, she sensed that this new chapter could offer them a path forward without carrying the scars of the past. Will's return stirred up a whirlwind of emotions within the Johnson family. The children wrestled with internal conflicts, and Anna still struggled with her resentment. But Will was determined to win back their love. Mornings were spent helping Anna with her baking, and in the afternoons, he focused on talking with Jake and Lucy, trying to understand what he had missed over the years. For Will, each day was a chance to rebuild the family's respect and connection. Jake, initially guarded, began to observe his father closely. One afternoon, they had a conversation about college, and for the first time, Jake realized he might be able to give their relationship a chance. In an honest exchange, Will apologized for the time he had lost with them, and Jake, though hesitant, decided to try forgiving him. It was the first step toward a fragile but hopeful reconciliation. Lucy, too, decided to open up to Will. In a conversation with Anna, she learned more about her parents' past and began to understand her mother's choice to forgive him. She realized that, through forgiveness, her mother was also freeing herself from the pain. With that insight, Lucy allowed herself to rebuild a bond with her father, letting him take part in her life again. For Anna, watching her children reconnect with Will brought on a deep sense of emotion. Though the pain of the past still lingered, she began to see forgiveness as a path to freedom. Slowly, she allowed herself to feel hope again, noticing how Will's presence brought a calmness to their home. She understood that forgiveness was a journey, and each day with her ex-husband was a step toward healing. Family evenings, when they were all gathered together, brought back memories of happier times. While they weren't the same people they once were, each of them sensed that this new chapter was a chance to build something new. Forgiveness was gradually becoming part of their daily lives, and each day was another stone laid in the rebuilding of a story filled with love and resilience. Time passed, and Anna began to feel that forgiveness was finally growing within her heart. Each day beside Will, and seeing her children happy with this new phase, made her believe that reconciliation was truly possible. One evening, after dinner, Anna gathered everyone in the living room and, with emotion in her voice, announced that she was ready to forgive Will. Overcome with gratitude, Will promised to care for the family and vowed never to abandon them again. Jake, now in college, felt a weight lift from his shoulders. For the first time, he felt he no longer needed to carry all the responsibility alone and could focus on his own life without resentment. Lucy, seeing her parents together, felt happy and relieved, knowing that their family was, at last, whole. For Sarah, forgiveness was natural. She had always believed in kindness and love as the true paths to healing. Watching her parents reconcile, she felt that all her dreams were finally within reach. Hugging her parents, she thanked them for the strength they had always shown her and decided she would carry love and forgiveness with her throughout her life. After their reconciliation, Will joined Anna in growing the family's baking business. Together, they expanded their sales, and their food truck became popular in Austin. Anna marveled at how their partnership brought her a sense of purpose and joy. Watching her children and husband, she knew that forgiveness had transformed each of them, giving everyone a new chance at happiness. Forgiveness brought peace to the Johnson family, and Anna felt, at long last, that she could move forward, free from the pain of the past. She realized that the love she felt for her children, and now for her husband, was stronger than any bitterness. For the first time, Anna felt hopeful for a full, happy future. The long-awaited day of Sarah's graduation finally arrived, and the entire family traveled to Boston to witness it. Watching Sarah in her cap and gown, diploma in hand, was the most emotional moment of Anna's life. At the end of the ceremony, Sarah made her way to her parents, her eyes filled with tears, and thanked them for their unwavering support and for never giving up on her. Jake and Lucy proudly hugged their younger sister, overjoyed to see their parents together and reconciled. Jake had secured an internship at a law firm, and Lucy was about to graduate in engineering. Anna, who had once thought she'd never see her children achieve their dreams, now felt that every sacrifice had been worth it. The family celebrated at a nearby restaurant, toasting to a new chapter of love and resilience. Will held Anna's hands and, with a heartfelt gaze, thanked her for giving him a second chance. Anna smiled, finally feeling at peace. She realized that, despite everything, the love between them was still alive, renewed, and strengthened by forgiveness. The Johnson family's journey had been marked by pain, but also by a resilient love. Now, each of them would follow their own path, knowing they would always have each other to rely on. Sarah had achieved her dream, and the family had attained what they wanted most: a home where love and forgiveness were the foundation. This story was not just about overcoming challenges. It was about the courage to start over and the power of forgiveness. Together, with hearts renewed, the Johnson family embraced their new beginning, filled with gratitude and hope for whatever the future held. Anna Johnson and her family showed us that, even in the darkest times, there is always a light guided by love and determination. After a journey filled with sacrifices, heartache, and reunions, Anna and her children discovered the strength of forgiveness. They proved that a family's true power lies in its ability to rise above loss and, together, build a better future. Seeing Jake, Lucy, and Sarah achieve their dreams was the ultimate reward, a result of their relentless fight, driven by unconditional love. And with Will by her side, Anna realized that forgiveness can mend bonds and open new paths, bringing meaning to the challenges they face together. If you enjoyed the story full of twists and emotions, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss other incredible narratives like this one. Keep following along and discover how stories of resilience, love, and forgiveness can inspire change in our own lives. Because in the end, there's always a second chance to start over.